The Baker Street burglary, Sherlock's shadow, and London's greatest heist. What if the world's most famous detective wasn't just fiction, but a blueprint for Britain's boldest bank job, a shadowy tunnel snaking beneath the very street where Holmes once pondered his pipes? Imagine a gang of ordinary shopkeepers and thieves, fueled by cheap whiskey and Arthur Conan Doyle dreams, burrowing like moles into the heart of London's financial fortress, cracking safes stuffed with secrets worth a king's ransom. On the night of September 11th, 1971, as Big Ben tolled and the city slept, they breached the unbreakable, Lloyds Bank's vault on Baker Street, vanishing with up to $3 million, $50 million today, in cash, jewels, and whispers of scandal that could topple empires. But in a twist straight from a Doyle denouement, their downfall came not from Scotland Yard sleuths, but a teenage radio nerd eavesdropping on their careless chatter. 4 went down, but the full loot? Still lost to legend, fueling rumors of royal cover-ups and MI5 moles. This wasn't a smash and grab, it was a subterranean symphony of audacity, where one wrong frequency broadcast the end. Let's descend into the damp darkness of that weekend, flashlight in hand, unearthing the thrilling truth of the heist that out-Holmes it Holmes himself, the Doyle dream, a gang forged in fiction and frustration. It started in the stale air of a Marylebone pub, 1970. Benjamin Wolfe, a 38-year-old ex-con with a gambler's grin and a grudge against the system, nursing a pint and a grudge. Wolfe, once pinched for petty theft, had clinked glasses with the underbelly of London. Leather shop owners, safecrackers, and dreamers who'd read The Red-Headed League. Doyle's tale of a fake newspaper job masking a bank vault dig. Baker Street? The irony was intoxicating. The bank's branch at No. 232 sat yards from 221B, Holmes' fictional lair. Wolfe saw destiny. Lease a shop, tunnel under, and plunder the safe deposit boxes holding the elite's dirty laundry, diamonds from divorces, bearer bonds from tax dodges, maybe even blackmail files on the mighty. His crew? A motley quartet of misfits. Thomas Tucker, Stevens, Wolfe's loyal lieutenant and a wiry welder with a knack for noise. Anthony Gavin, a 29-year-old Scot safe blower fresh from a stretch for cracking Glasgow vaults. And Robert Rowlands. No, wait, that's the eavesdropper. The fourth was Reginald Mick, Marshall, a 30-something drifter with a shovel and a stomach for the grind. They pooled £3,000 to lease the leather goods shop at 440 Baker Street, a dingy spot opposite the bank, masking their prep with bolts of hide and harmless hammering. For 6 months they schemed in whispers, blueprints filched from a contact at the leather trade fair, walkie-talkies tuned to Channel 29, they thought it secure. And a weekend window from Friday close to Monday open, 72 hours of uninterrupted larceny. Wolfe's thrill? "We're the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen," he'd quip, eyes gleaming like Moriarty's. But as picks met mortar that summer, the ground trembled with more than earth. Rumors swirled of high society skeletons in those boxes, from porn tapes to political payoffs, making the score not just cash but chaos. The subterranean siege digging through hell's labyrinth. September 10th, 1971. As London buzzed with the electric hum of impending autumn, the gang vanished into the shop's basement, a 10-out-10 trapdoor, their portal to perdition. The tunnel? A claustrophobic coffin, 40 feet long, 2 feet high, shored with creaking wood props and lit by flickering carbide lamps that spat shadows like demons. They crawled on elbows and knees through choking clay, Gavin's acetylene torch hissing like a serpent as it sliced rebar, Wolfe barking orders over crackling walkie-talkies. Tucker, shore that beam. It's weeping. Sweat-soaked and silent save for grunts and the plink-plink of falling dirt, they breached the bank's foundations by midnight, the vault's 2-ton door looming like a cyclops' eye. The breach was ballet in the black. Marshall wedged a jack under the vault floor, lifting it millimeter by millimeter. No alarms, thanks to a severed phone line and a vacation ruse for the night watchman. Inside? A glittering crypt, 200 safe deposit boxes, each a Pandora's puzzle of locks and lives. For 48 hours they feasted, gems spilling like tears, $15 million in bonds fluttering like confetti, passports and photos hinting at scandals that could scorch headlines, sensational whispers from the trial. One box held compromising letters from a peer's mistress, another bearer shares worth a fortune in Swiss anonymity. They stuffed duffels till dawn Sunday, emerging caked in mud, hearts hammering like war drums. The hall, Officially 125 million, but insiders peg it at 3 million, enough to fund a small war or silence a few big ones. The Fatal Frequency, a ham's eavesdrop and echoes of empire. Saturday night, as the robbers bantered over static, Christ Tucker, that Ruby could buy the pub, fate tuned in. In Row-a-Slip, Middlesex, 14-year-old Robert Rowlands hunched over his ham radio, scanning channels for pirate broadcasts like a boyish Bond. At 11:45 p.m., Channel 29 crackled alive. "All clear down there? We're in the vault. It's Christmas." Rowlands froze, scribbling feverishly. Coordinates matching Baker Street, chatter of boxes 97 to 120, even Wolfe's Cockney curses. Heart pounding, he dashed to his parents, then Scotland Yard. His tip: they're under the bank, talking like it's a party. Detectives dismissed it as a prank at first, but by Sunday dawn, alarms blared. Vault breached, but the gang? Gone, melting into the fog with their phantom fortune. Rowland's scoop was gold. Police traced the shop's lease to Wolfe, unearthing the tunnel, a 40-foot scar of shame, props still damp, a discarded torch like Excalibur in reverse. Raids netted Stevens first, then Gavin, Marshall crumbling under grill. It was the walkies, bloody fools. Wolfe, the ghost, fled to Jersey, but Scotland Yard's hounds hounded him down in a 1973 dawn bust, duffel of dirty diamonds in tow. The trial? A tabloid tornado. September 1973 at the Old Bailey, headlines howling Baker Street bungle, witnesses gasping at the tunnel's terror. Sentences: Wolfe got 13 years, the rest 5-8, peanuts for Paradise Lost. But the loot? A tantalizing void. 500,000 pounds recovered in suitcases under beds, the rest? Vapor. Rumors of Swiss drops, burned bonds, or buried in Epping Forest waiting for a metal detector's moan. If these subterranean sagas, where a kid's radio unraveled a robber's rapture, leave you breathless for more mysteries mined from the margins, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Behind the Veil Truths, for weekly unearthings of history's hidden halls. The Phantom Paydirt, Missing Millions and MI5 Murmurs. The Heist's Hangover, a haze of high society scandal. Declassified Scotland Yard files from 2024 hint at sensitive recoveries, boxes holding politically explosive. Items like photos of a lord's indiscretions or IRA funding slips, hushed by the establishment. Wolfe, paroled in 1985, vanished into legend, dying in 2018 without spilling the swag's secrets, his Jersey lair yielding only echoes. Marshall cracked in a 1990s interview. It wasn't just cash, secrets worth more than the crown jewels. And the MI5 angle? Whispers in 2025's BBC Deep Dive. A mole, in the gang, tipping off the boxes to raid, ensuring the really dirty ones stayed buried. The uncracked vault, echoes of an eternal enigma. The Baker Street burglary isn't closed. It's a crack in the cosmos, where 25 million pallors melted into myth, and Baker Street's pavement still hides phantom footsteps. Was it Holmes, homage, or hubris, harakiri? As 2025's drone scans probe the tunnel's ghost, one truth thrills. The perfect crime is the one half solved, loot laughing in the dark. If this Baker Street borough has you itching to unearth more audacious archives, from lost nukes to faked flags, subscribe to Behind the Veil Truths on YouTube. We've got the next dig teed up. Who knows what treasure or trap will trigger tomorrow?